Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's Trade of the Day, Monday afternoon slash evening slash Tuesday morning Zoom edition. And the market is improved somewhat on Sunday and earlier today. Bitcoin is above 62, pushing 63K. So that's some progress. It looks like it's ranging. We'll go to the chart in a moment. Ethereum's been disappointing. It has not reclaimed 3,000 yet. Let's go to the charts and see what is going on. Okay, should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And I have an echo in the back. Everybody, please. Thank you. All right. So here we are at 62,880, and we've been a little above 6,300 today, but this range has been going on for a few days now in the low 60s. The highest we've gotten is a little over 65K. And some of the talking heads I check with seem to think we're going to be ranging for a while. It's not unusual at this point after a halving. So, no real surprises there. On the Fibonacci retracements I drew a couple of weeks ago, we did bounce off the 382. This is a common entrance area for people who use this tool. And as you can see, we bounced off the 0.5 last week. And it depends where you draw it. It's more of an art than a science. I started at the 40K area down here. One could start it here. You're on the 50, 52 area, 52K area and reach some different conclusions. So that's how that goes. On Ethereum, this has been disappointing. We've broken down out of this lower zone I had drawn back in March, and this EMA here is a 200, and we're approaching it. It looks like it should hold as a support, which is around 2,800, give or take. But some of the news I'm seeing is Solana is kicking Ethereum's butt. Could actually be the Ethereum killer that people have been looking for several years. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if Solana continues to get more traction on its network than Ethereum does. Solana is 147 today and up 3%. So, and Ethereum is about the same. Well, no, Ethereum's only less than 1%. But Solana is a lot cheaper than Ethereum, so there's that. And then finally, the markets overall. I brought this page up, so I'm struggling to find it on Friday. So I preemptive strike, put it up, and what we have coming up later this week, and then the overall economic forecast. We have PPI inflation numbers coming out tomorrow and Wednesday, and unemployment also coming out on Thursday. So this should be a busy week in FOMC. Looks like some meetings on Friday. So a lot of activity in the markets overall, in the at-risk markets. If those numbers come out poorly, that could push down the markets overall. So be on the guard for that. Okay, any questions, comments about the markets overall before we go to Altcoin Alert?
Yeah.
Hit me, Frank.
Well, for what it's worth, that's a potential higher low on Bitcoin there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean obviously it's going to go up, but if it holds there, that'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's an inverse head and shoulder, higher low. Yeah. Could be the beginning of a reversal.
Yeah. God. I'm not a big structure guy, but a lot of people are, and maybe this would be a better one. So when these structures come together, it just forces usually a large move one way or the other. Doesn't necessarily tell us which way, but
well, they're also self-fulfilling prophecies. People
Indeed.
that trade them see them, and then they they jump on it. Same with Fibonacci, same with any
Famous.
indicator.
That's true. People use the indicators and then trade accordingly, just like I do. I talk about them, twice a week on the show. So that's a good point.
And I
We'll
think it was
see.
nice that Bitcoin held relatively well over the weekend, certainly at least over the 60K line,
Yeah.
which I find very encouraging. And some other things seem to be pumping a little bit.
Yeah, this is where we were concerned we were going to lose it because it came down to the mid to low 60,000 area several times here on the 4-hour chart and then shot back up today. So far so good. 60K is holding as support, but a lot of folks would draw this Fibonacci like this, maybe 52 is the bottom, and look for a dip down to the 786 area. And when you hear Bryce and some of the other analysts on Crypt Nation talk about the 786 or 618, that's what they're talking about. And a dip down would coincide with what we had earlier this month, around 56.8 in the 886 area, be 54, and then the bottom here, 52 would be where we were, back in February. So we'll see. Those are some numbers and some trends to be aware of.
Yeah, the other interesting thing that's coming about in the United States is that the two political parties are starting to actually take, some definite stands having to do with crypto with the upcoming presidential election, which they really haven't done to the extent they are right now. So it just shows that, it's really coming into the limelight now in general, and that they realize, it's here. And in order to attract voters, they have to, take a stand, which they're starting to do.
Robert, you've brought up something I've wanted to avoid, but I probably can't.
Well, I'm
uh,
not bringing it up as one side or the other. I'm just saying that it's happening. It's a movement. That's all. And movement
yeah, I'm not criticizing you for bringing that up.
movements have traction.
Yeah, and the reality is in the U.S. that Trump has made a stand that he's pro-crypto, and Biden has obviously been anti-crypto, and this to some degree affects the livelihood of everybody on this call and everybody watching the replay. So, uh, take that into consideration, I guess. I may be holding my nose and voting for somebody I never would have otherwise, but
Well,
I digress.
what somebody I respect said today on that subject is they wouldn't necessarily make a decision on the other hand, based on that solely alone. And I'll basically just leave it there.
Okay. All right. That concludes the political portion of Crypto CJ's.
Well, also
Frank's jumping in.
a number of banks have announced that they're in crypto, getting into crypto,
hmm
notably the infamous hater Jamie Dimon and Chase,
Yeah.
who I think he said everything he could possibly say bad about crypto to get the price down because he's buying. I'm just guessing, but anyway, for what it's worth.
Yeah. More and more institutions are getting in, so a lot of duplicitous information going out there to push things down so they can get in at a reasonable price. But okay, well, let's go make some trades. That's why we're here, right? Okay, where was I? Share my screen, and let's bounce over to Altcoin Alert. And I need to be a little bit clearer about how I start this. Now, when you sign into Altcoin Alert, I got an email about this. Was somebody who was a little confused who was new. You're probably going to be faced with this screen, this dashboard screen, and you can look at this if you want, but I prefer all the information. So I'm going to use the altcoin radar option. That gives me all these columns that I can sort, and then there's a few that I prefer over the others. And that's what we'll be doing now. The first thing I'm going to do is reload. And then I'm going to sort this using an AA score, looking for 80 and better. And we have that.
CJ, just one other thing on your setup, that you have easy mode turned off.
Oh, yes, good point. I have easy mode turned off because you can do that and it looks different. But I want all the information, so yeah, I'd forgotten about that one. So turn easy mode off and go to Altcoin Radar if you want this setup. So, all right, where was I? Fetch, 82.1, very bullish. I was looking at this earlier, and we will look at this as both a day trade and a swing trade. With a day trade, I'm looking to get 1 to 2% on a chart, and I'm an experienced trader, so I'm using leverage. I'm usually 10x leverage. So if I get like a 1.3% move times 10x, that's 13%. Good stuff. You should not trade on leverage until you have some sustained success as a spot trader. So we will talk about spot and leverage, day trades, and swing trades. All right, so I'm on my 15-minute setup. If you want to get this set up to add to your own trading view, email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com and I can provide this for you. Oh, let's see. We got an alert on render. Let's check it out. If we get an alert during the show, we can make a trade actually during the Zoom call. That's desirable. So I'm going to click on my render alert that just came up. This is something I set this morning. And yeah, it's putzing around the 80 here on my RTI. And it's not making a decisive move. That's what I call it. If it made a spike down, then that would be something I would look to short, but it did not. So I'm going to ignore that for now and go back to FET. Okay, at the moment, FET's in the middle on the 15-minute chart, sitting on the SMA line here between the Bollinger Bands, these green lines, and it's not really doing much of anything. So this is something I'd want to set an alert on and have it get me in at a better situation, something like this. This is my favorite entry on day trade, really on any trade, is this dip below the 20 on the RTI and then a break above. So it's a dip and a recovery. That's what I want. That's the ideal. For me, my favorite. So for that alert, it's easy to set up on the RTI. Add an alert, right click on it. And we're going to make this choice, crossing up. And on the value, we're going to put 20. If I was doing this in the morning, like when I usually do my alerts, I would put it on once per bar close so it stays on until I turn it off. Alert name, information source, AA score, and notifications. I'm going to notify an app, which is my smartphone, show a pop-up on my computer, and play a sound also on my desktop computer, and choose a not too obnoxious sound. 3 notes of reverb is one of my favorites. Click create and you're good to go. So that's how you do an RTI alert for the 20 value. But what if we don't make it to the 20? What if it dips like below the 50 and bounces back up, like happened right here? Here it dipped below the 50 and then broke back up. And then, you catch this move. That's good stuff. 4% is a great day trade. So in addition to the 20, you can do another alert for the 50. Get rid of this. And it's just the same. Right click on the RTI, crossing up on the 50. And you can either do it just once or once per bar close, AA score, and the rest is the same. Now, if you're more advanced, you want to trade both directions, and these are the alerts I usually do. I'm going to do this a little differently, and we're going to enter a channel. So and that'll be 80 on top and 20 on the bottom. Once per bar close, AA score. And you can see it creates this rectangle here. And so if it breaks above the 80, like it happened here, and then dips back down, that alert would go off. So I would have caught, this move down. That would have been a good short move, short trade for me. And you see how this is, a strong, decisive move down. That's what I want, at least like a 45-degree angle. And here's another pretty good example of a decisive move, a break up. So that's what I'm looking for on the RTI. And if I'm using the 50 value, I will also look at my cumulative delta, which is my confirmation indicator. If it's trending up as well, then that's an additional sign to go. Okay, any questions on FET as a day trade before we head over to the swing trade option? Okay, let's say you want a bigger move than this. So, and you're willing to stay for a few days in this trade. Go over to the FET. I'm on the 1 hour chart. And I'm using a few different options. I've got the supertrend and the Trendio LSMA, which is a moving average. I use that as confirmation. And then I have support and resistance, which is the supply and demand visible range, Lux Algo indicator. Again, if you want this set up, email me and I'll send it to you. So right now on FET, we are in the green zone. So we are at support. We have a buy, from about 12 hours ago, give or take. And that went off here, but we didn't have confirmation till here on the LSMA. So that move would have been about 3% until it did drop back down. So in this scenario, not trading advice, but I'd probably go ahead if I wanted to take the swing trade, get in now, hold some funds back in case it goes against me, and then I could do a ladder buy option. Actually, most traders prefer a stop loss. That's fine as well, but I like to do multiple positions when trades go against me, and usually it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. So how to set this alert? Another option would be for it to wait for it to dip and then come back. And in that situation, right click on your supertrend buy. I'd probably just keep it on only once. And again, that's an AA score. I'll just go ahead and complete this one. And notify on app, show a pop-up, play a sound. I'll usually use handbell for my swing trades. Click create, and I'll be ready. So what'll happen is if this trends down, eventually a sell will print. And then when it comes back up, and this probably won't happen till tomorrow or the next day, a buy order would kick, or a buy signal would kick in. If I have a confirmation on the LSMA, if I get in here, probably try to catch this back up to the red zone. But I'm also going to contemplate that this is probably going to take a week to 2 weeks before I get that, that 16% that it's showing me. So that's the swing trade option. Any questions on that? Okay, let's go back to Altcoin Alert and use a different sort. That's the AA sort. Another one I like is social activity. And I'm going to look for fire matches or a fire and thumbs up. A social activity is just like it sounds. Trading activity, we're matching up sentiment with technicals. And I'm looking for something that I can trade on an exchange I like. Chromia is one I actually set an alert on today, and it's gone up pretty nicely. It's got fire on both of these. Let's check it out as both a day trade and a swing trade. Okay. Chromia on the 15-minute chart. So broken above the 80. So this had a nice dip for Yeah, it dipped right here. I don't know if that would have been enough for me to get, yeah, 2%. I would have got a quick little short there. So that would have worked out pretty well. I don't think that move was strong enough for me when that alert went off, so I didn't take it. Dadgummit. Okay, but as you can see, when it broke below the 20 and came back up, right here, big move up. That would have been a great entry on a spot trade, or one on leverage, because it moved 20%. No guarantee you're gonna get a move like that, but that's why those dips below the 20 can be so lucrative. Okay, so yeah, I think I would set alerts on the 20, breaking above the 20, and the 50 on this. So you could also go something this volatile. You could set an alert to break above the 80, crossing up 80, and so social activity sort, and then customize this as you see fit. And what'll happen in this scenario is when it breaks above the 80, you'll get that alert, like what happened here. Actually happened here, and then went against, then went back up. So it happened again here, and then here. So all these would have been good trades, between say 1 to 3%. Good little day trades there on CHR. Okay, any questions on that approach before we head over to the swing trade? Okay. And the buy just printed an hour ago, but then got a red candle. So if you got in now, you've got 5% up to this wick. I'm relying on one wick as my guide for when to get out. It's a little shaky. So I'd probably go with these two. You've got this one wick and then these two full candles. I'd be looking to get out right around 30 cents, maybe just under a little bit, or 30.3, something like that. So that would be a swing trade of 4 or 5%, not bad. So most of my swing trades, I'm preferring to get 10 to 20%. So I might, in this situation, look at some longer time frames to get better ideas of where this can go. So yeah, on the 4-hour, we were in a month ago, less than a month ago, we were at 33 cents. Yeah, I'm remembering that now. So if you got in now and you held till here, you're looking at 17.5% in 20 days. Pretty good swing trade. So, and then if you want to hold longer, obviously Chromia was earlier in April, is way up here in the high 40s. And as Bryce says, price has memory. So they don't always go back, but they frequently do. And you can do, you can get in now, hold some funds back, or wait for the next buy and set your alert like we discussed on the last one. Okay, any questions on Chromia as a swing trade? Okay, we were a little chattier than usual in our intro, so I think I'm just going to go with these two options on Altcoin Alert, unless some of you folks have some questions about it overall. Okay. I thought I had a chat message, but I don't. So we'll head over to iCoinPro. iCoinPro, home of the 1, 2, 3 dip. the RSI SPY and the Buddy Coin Crawler. So iCoinPro, if you don't know, is a conservative approach to day trading. They don't really focus on swing trading that much, but you can take this information and use it for that purpose if you want. I was talking with a new person in iCoinPro earlier today, and that's going to be his goal. He's more of a swing trader. So we just talked about using some of this information on longer time frames. So I'm looking at the RSI SPY, and I've sorted by the 1 hour RSI. RSI is similar to the RTI that you've seen on my charts. And what this information is telling me is something's dipped below the 30 on the RSI, and that usually means it's due for a comeback. And unfortunately, they mix in Bitcoin pairs, which I don't care for, and I prefer to stay in this green list, but I will extend it a bit into the low 30s to look for something else to trade. Band is something I trade sometimes. Athena has been in the news a bit, and OGN, that's one. I haven't seen that one in a while. Tensor, people have been talking about that one, and it's available on Coinbase. Let's go ahead and look at that one. Oh, another alert, CHR. And again, this is dipped below the 80, but it's mostly sideways, so I'm going to ignore that one. All right, where were we? Tensor. Okay, it's on Coinbase. We're going to look at this as a spot trade, and it's in the green zone on the 15-minute chart. It's dipped below the 20 on the RTI, so I like this. So it's due to come back. And I'm just going to do a little alert here, crossing above the 20. And if this triggers today, I will probably take a spot trade on Coinbase. And let's go with 3 notes reverb. Everything looks good. So that's what I'm doing with that one. It's below the 20 now, so I want it to break back up. It's been below the 20 for a while though, since Sunday night when this one happened. Made a small move up. Not that great. Yeah, it's not really worth highlighting. But let's take a bigger look at this. Yeah, I mean, it has retrace potential well over $1, so that looks pretty good. And then it's a swing trade. Let's go to that setup. And yeah, this is interesting. This has had strong support, pretty close to where we are now, right around 77 cents. Multiple touches on this in the past, month. So I like this going at least here to 93 cents. Yeah, I think that would be the move for me as a short-term swing trade. Just try to get 10% back up to like 92, 93 cents. And get in when it breaks above the 20. Probably above the 20 on the 15-minute chart. Let's look at the 30 on this one. We got some drawings left over on this. It's a little sloppy. So we're in the green zone now. The LSMA just turned to green. But we don't have we're still in the sell on the super trend. And then this is a little more advanced. Do we have a divergence yet? We had multiple divergences here. Got 2.5% before it dipped back. Divergence is a disagreement between price action and indicators. So, and I think it's kind of advanced. I didn't really use it till I've been trading for over a year, so I'm not going to focus on it too much. The easier option is just to catch the next buy on the super trend. That's an easy alert to set. Super trend buy. Make sure you have confirmation, and you know the rest. So I like this setup. Any questions on Tensor as a spot trade? Okay, we'll go through one more on iCoinPro. Let's look at the Buddy coin crawler. All of these values are not up to date on the Buddy coin crawler, so I've got a word in with their support. They want more information from me, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and use it as if it's functioning correctly. Cody, this is something I've traded off and on for the past couple of months. It's showing 6.3%. I sort by the average low to the SMA. The low is a 24-hour low. The SMA line is the red line you see between the green Bollinger Bands on my charts. So I'm looking for values 4% or higher. That's telling me something's moving that day. And Cody is at 6%, so let's check it out. We will look at this as both a day trade and a swing trade. Okay, on the 15-minute, we're in the green zone. And this is interesting. It's dipped to not quite the 20 and then hooked back up. So you could just set an alert here to break below the 20 and come back up. You know, that crossing up on the 20 that we've done a few times already. That would be a way to go. You could get in now, hold some funds back in case it dipped down to the bottom of the green zone. You know, go in kind of small and then double your position if it goes down 2%. And yeah, I don't really see. You could wait till it breaks above the 50. That would be another option. It's done pretty well when it's done that. The most recent was this break here. And, you know, a 3% move, that's a good day trade. So I like that. And quick review, add alert on the RTI, crossing up, value of 50. You could stay with just once or once per bar close. And this was Buddy Coin Crawler. And customize this as you see fit. And that's how that works. Okay, as a swing trade, I think I've got one going on Cody at the moment. Yeah, it's in the green zone now, but trending down. You do not have a super trend indication, nor do you have the LSMA trending up yet. So I don't like it to get in yet. Take a quick look at divergence. One divergence showing the CCI indicator. Intriguing. May not be a bad entry, but you may want to play it safe and wait for those other two indicators. Set your super trend and look at your LSMA to get that confirmation. Any questions on Cody? Okay, any questions on anything we've talked about today on the Zoom call? All right, well, thanks for everybody who participated. If you're watching on the recording, I appreciate that. Rather see you live. Check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. And for everybody else, thanks for joining me. See you Friday. Bye.